All right, what's up everybody? It's Ethan here. This is the second video I'm doing in the same day, and I am now at the makeshift trailhead for Ding and Dang slot canyons. So this hike is about an 8-mile loop, and unlike Crack Canyon that I did earlier today, it is significantly more difficult. These two slot canyons are a lot more technical, and despite that, there are a ton more people here. I don't think all these people are going into the slots. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of these people are, just doing quick little in and outs, or, coming back in here to camp a little bit. But, I mean, I don't know. It might end up being a little crowded in those slots, which is kind of surprising because Crack Canyon I saw two other people the whole time I was there, and I mean, it was earlier in the morning when I did Crack Canyon, but still, considering how much easier that one is than these slot canyons are supposed to be, I figured there'd be just as few, if not fewer people at Ding and Dang, but evidently not. I guess any trailhead that's on this side of the reef, the Goblin Valley side, is just more crowded, because I passed by the trailhead for Bell and Little Wildhorse slot canyons, and my God, that trailhead was so crowded. I mean, that was like 14er crowded at that trailhead. So we'll see what happens here. I am excited about doing this. This should be, unlike Crack Canyon, which was fun but pretty easy, this should be an actual challenge. So I'm excited and hoping there's not too much water in Dang Canyon, because that one is known for holding big pools of water sometimes. All right, coming up to the split between Ding and Dang canyons. I've really been liking this approach. It's really beautiful, the colors of the rocks through here. But anyway, coming up to the split right over here, and from here things are about to get interesting in a minute. All right, just past the split, starting to enter Ding Canyon, which is the easier of the two, which is why they recommend that you go up this way. Just a little, from what I've heard, a little easier, a little more mellow to up climb than Dang. These canyons have funny sounding names, man. Crack Canyon, Ding, Dang, and then to top that off, there's actually, on the other side of the reef where you exit the canyons, there is there's this thing, this like feature called Ding Dang Dome, like a big rock formation. Just silliness. But anyway, I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully this one gives me a little more spiciness than Crack Canyon did. But from what I've heard, I'll probably be begging for mercy when I'm going down Dang Canyon. We'll see. All right, been climbing up through Ding Canyon. There's been a couple of minor up climbs, but nothing too serious just yet. I will say this is already getting pretty close to the hardest stuff I encountered in Crack Canyon, so I think that means I might be in for a real adventure here, which is great. And from what I've heard from a couple of people I passed, they all say that they might just do Dang and not go down Dang. So apparently that one scares a lot of people. We'll see how it goes. All right, looks like I'm entering the slot, and I'm assuming that I will have a lot of up climbing in my very immediate future, but for now it's pretty mellow and it is beautiful. I gotta tell you, just like this first little initial part of it is already like, I'm already enjoying this more than I did Crack Canyon. I mean, Crack Canyon was fun, but it was just, you know, it's a very slow burn, I'll say that. This one really throws you into the slot pretty quickly. I mean, this is just beautiful back here. Still very wide, but definitely a slot at this point. Well, as soon as I cut off the video, I hit my first little section of water. I don't know how deep this is, but I guess I'm about to find out. I can see if I can, you know, try to get my legs up on the walls and stay dry, but I'd say it's not likely. Okay, well, that section back there, it was up to like shin deep in some spots, and I gotta tell you, the water was pretty refreshing, but it smelled so bad. I would not drink this water in here. It is pretty gross, stagnant water, but there's definitely a lot of water. And from what I've heard, there's even more water in Dang than there is in Ding, so this should be interesting. All right, well, I've actually been able to avoid the water in quite a few spots. It does require some more, you know, technicality, but it's really not, hasn't been that bad thus far. So most of this water is no more than shin deep though, so even if you have to walk through it, as long as it's a relatively warm day, it's not too bad. But we'll see what happens further ahead. This is really cool. Doesn't that look delicious? That's like the water that Aaron Ralston drank after he cut his arm off. Hopefully my day doesn't end up like that. Got a little pothole here, and I got to get over it and can't hold my phone, so this is a fun section of Ding. Lots of good scrambling through here. Super fun. Wow. All right, well, Ding Canyon has opened up quite a bit. Not really much of a slot canyon anymore. It was pretty short, but definitely longer than the slot sections on Crack Canyon, and quite a bit more eventful. But I will say, I'm not through Ding Canyon yet, so I can't really say for sure. But if that was the worst of it, then I feel fairly confident about going down Dang. That it would at least be, it would definitely be a challenge, but at least be in my skill level. So we'll see what happens. All right, well, I am getting close to the end of Ding Canyon, and there was a lot of scrambling. Even in the parts that weren't the slot canyon, there was still a ton of big boulders and all kinds of obstacles you had to scramble up and around. Lots of class 3 and 4. And by the way, for all you canyoneering people out there, when I say class 3 and 4, I'm talking about the mountaineering scale, not the canyoneering scale, because I just know the mountaineering one better. So for all of you people that climb the 14ers and everything, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say class 3 and 4 climbing. There's some sections that definitely go up to, even like higher class 5, but luckily those are, you can bypass those. You can just kind of climb up higher on the canyon wall a little bit, and usually the bypass still involves doing a good amount of class 3 or 4, but you don't have to do any class 5. But yeah, it's It's really beautiful. This is an incredible hike so far, but definitely significantly more difficult than Crack Canyon, and I would put it on par, if not slightly more difficult than Moonshine Wash, the slot canyon I did a couple of months ago. All right, leaving the wash and heading up towards the most ridiculously named rock formation ever, Ding Dang Dome. And in this section, from when you exit Ding to when you enter Dang, it's definitely very important to follow the map, because you don't want to get lost out in the open desert. Everything kind of looks the same out here. So, and I mean, so far there's a trail, but you never know when that trail will disappear, or you know if it's even going to lead you the right way. Very important to follow the map. Apologies for the wind. I am hiking right by Ding Dang Dome. It's that thing right there. Can't see the whole thing from here, but it's actually a pretty cool looking rock formation, but still, it has a goofy ass name. But I am getting really close to getting into the start of Dang Canyon, so I'm excited about that. And I'm also excited about hopefully getting out of this wind. All right, starting to enter Dang Canyon. This Dang Canyon. The names of all of these canyons are really bringing out like the dad jokes in me. So I am definitely curious to see how this canyon ends up comparing to all the other slot canyons I've done, because from what I've read, this is going to be by far the most difficult and technical slot canyon I've done yet. This one's kind of right on the verge of being a technical canyoneering route, but not quite that bad. So we'll see how it goes. I tell you, I don't get nervous very often for, going on hikes. I was a little nervous when I did the Grand Canyon, just because I didn't know if I could handle the mileage and the elevation and everything. And I was nervous my first time doing a class 3. I'm also a little nervous entering this canyon right now. But I'm hoping that, like how it was with Moonshine Wash, this one was just kind of overhyped in its difficulty a little bit, but we'll see. I'm ready to have some fun, even if it ends up being some type 2 fun. Wow, not even in the slot yet, and there's already been a couple of significant down climbs, like more than 10 feet, and not really any good hand or footholds. So honestly, it looks like there are ways to bypass some of this stuff. So I guess when you're not in the slot, it's not as much of a problem, but I can already see why going up Dang as opposed to going down it would be a lot more difficult. Still not in the slot yet, but that was a interesting down climb. Definitely high class 4. But since it's still not in the slot, there probably is a way to bypass it, but whatever. I'm here to party. All right, so there's a bit of a traffic jam here, but there's actually 2 ways down this section. There's this down climb with the rope, but then there's also this spot here, and you don't really need a hand line for either. I mean, you can use one if you feel like you need to, but it's not really necessary to have a hand line. Up climbing it, the hand line would be helpful, but down climbing it, you just be careful about your footing and you're good to go. So yeah, that's definitely spicier than anything in Ding, that's for sure. But we'll see how it goes the further down we get. Another interesting section right there, I just down climbed. I picked that line, pretty easy, not too bad. It's turning more into a slot now. I'd call this a slot canyon at this point. It's wide, but I think it does get more narrow. But I'll tell you, that one back there where somebody had put in the hand line, well, most people were using that. I decided to just go down the other way and just free climb it because there wasn't really a need for a hand line on either of those down climbs. But I can tell that a lot of the people who are doing this probably just definitely feel some added security by having it there. But honestly, for me, I would have been totally fine, or I was totally fine without it. Another place where they got a little hand line, I thought about using it, but I actually just bypassed it by going down here. You got to jump a little bit, but it's only a few feet. So it's definitely the most technical of any slot canyon I've ever been in, but it's not like insane. Lots of people in here, but this is probably the most gnarly down climb in the canyon, I would think. Of course, they got a hand line for you here. The water does get pretty deep there, so you can stem it or just go through the water. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. We'll see when I get down there. All right, so there are a ton of people, but I just stemmed across that. Wasn't too bad. Definitely a good upper body workout, but skipped over the water. And now to the next down climb. All right, well, it's windy again. I passed through that huge traffic jam of people, but yeah, that was really cool. Coming here on a day where there's not as many people would be a lot more fun. But I will say Dang is definitely the most technical by far of any slot I've done. But a lot of these down climbs are worse than they look, to be honest. But looks like I might have to stem again because there's some water here. Okay, so I'm in the middle of this water crossing. I'm stemming across it right now. It's not too bad, but the water does get a little deep in some of these. Some of those, that one back there by that huge down climb was probably like 4 feet deep in the deepest part. So I've definitely been trying to stem across all of these. But yeah, this is really, really cool. Really enjoying this. For those of you wondering what a stem looks like, I got my legs against one side of the canyon wall and my butt against the other. So I'm just moving across just like this. Try not to drop my phone in the water while I do it. But this is pretty much it. If you have someone else with you, it's really great if you can give your backpack to them, because doing this with a backpack on sucks a bag of dicks. But still doable as long as you don't have like a huge backpack. But anyway, almost done with the water crossing, and we'll see if this is the last one or not. Okay guys, well, I'm out of the slot portion of Dang Canyon, so from here on out it should be a lot easier, but I think I'm going to turn around and go back up in a minute. I know that's crazy, but I almost feel cheated because I just happened to come across a group of like 35 college students that are on their spring break and decided to come down here to hike some slot canyons. So there were so many people, and they all bottlenecked right at all of the really cool parts of Dang Canyon. So I feel like I didn't get to experience it the way I wanted to, so I am gonna wait until they have all gone through, and hopefully that doesn't take too long. I'm expecting it to probably take as much as an hour, but I'm gonna wait until they all finish going through, and then I'm going to go back up Dang and then back down again, just on the, you know, slot part. The rest of it I don't care about, but the slot part I want to have like a real experience. And you know, I did obviously get to do all the down climbs and all the stemming and all of that stuff, but it wasn't as good as I think it could have been if I wasn't surrounded by, you know, dozens of college students. So we'll see how it goes. They're all really nice, so I'm not mad at them or anything, but I would also like to do it with them not being present. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they end up getting through here relatively quickly, but you know, if not, I can wait. Okay guys, well I am back at the car. I am completely exhausted right now. I did Dang Canyon 3 times. 3 freaking times. I went up Dang, down Dang, back up Dang, and back down Dang again. So a lot of technical and semi-technical climbing and stemming, and I mean my whole body, I can just feel it. I got the workout of a lifetime. I'll tell you, if you want a good workout that just works your whole body out, do a freaking slot canyon. It is intense. So anyway guys, like I said, I'm back at the trailhead finally. The reason I didn't show any footage of me going back up and down is because I ended up meeting up with a couple of groups and just kind of joined up with them. There was a group going up Dang Canyon and I joined them going up, and then there was a couple of guys going back down, so I joined them when I was going back down, just to have, you know, some other people there with me, because I was getting tired and sore and just wanted to make sure if anything happened to me, there were other people around, there were witnesses. But anyway, it's pretty cloudy and windy. Looks like the storm that may be headed for Colorado is maybe looking like it's going to be passing over here soon. But anyway guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. All said and done, I ended up hiking a little over 14 miles today if you include Crack Canyon and Dang times 3. Ended up doing a little over 14 miles today, so really fun, really cool. I can't wait to change out of these dirty canyon clothes and get an actual meal. I haven't had one of those in over 24 hours now. But anyway guys, I will see you guys soon for another adventure. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, of course. And I'll see you on the next one.